Okay, folks, so I'm going to be making the U-bolts that I need to attach the sewer storage pipe that I'm putting onto the front of the camper. I tried to find these online and I was not able to find them. And so the first thing I need to do is I need to measure the steel rods that I got so that I can get the exact width that I need. Then I'm going to heat them up and bend them to the sizes that I need. So I need the inside of the square U-bolt to be 6 inches wide. And then the length could be whatever. The minimum that they need to be is 12 inches. I'm going to have a little bit of extra material left. We'll see if we need to cut them off or not when I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and measure. All right, so now that I've marked them with the crayon, I'm going to go ahead and mark them with the chisel as well. And then I can heat it up and start bending. All right, so I'm ready to put the steel in the fire. The forge is hot enough now. I'm just going to drop those in there and let them heat up for a little bit. And we have the rough shape of a U-bracket. Now I just need to clean it up a little bit and then we'll be done. All right, so the brackets came out somewhat like I wanted them. They're not perfect yet, but I can bend them a little bit more using the hammer, the small uh, mallet here. This is not a steel mallet, by the way. It's just rawhide. But using the rawhide mallet, I can get them a little bit more into shape, into what I want to. But it doesn't really need to be perfect, right? I also didn't need a forge and an anvil. I could have heated it up with just a little torch here like this because I'm not trying to heat it up to reshape. I just need it to bend it. And so with a vise, like a bench vise or really any type of vise, I have here a post vise, right? But any type of vise, I could have heated it up with this and bent it um, with just using a big plier or something like that if you don't have these tools in your house. But I have the forge, I have the anvil, and I like doing it, and so I just thought it was fun. All right, so here is the basic idea of the U-bolt is to brace it against the frame here, and I have one on this side and the back one on the other side, and then use this on the bottom to kind of snug it in with some bolts. So since I had a 36-inch piece, I knew this was going to be too long, so I'm just going to measure it and cut it so I only have to thread what's needed instead of this entire long piece, and I don't have anything hanging down there. So I'll go ahead and measure that up, and then we'll go over to back to the work. All right, so this cut doesn't have to be exact because again, it's going underneath the frame there, but I did measure up both at the same length, and that way we don't have too much excess material, and that way also I don't have to thread up too much of it. So go ahead and give it a cut. I went back and got my safety goggles. I realized I wasn't using them even when I was forging. That's pretty dangerous. Should always wear safety goggles whenever you're working with metal particles, cutting, whatever it is, because you don't want that stuff jumping up and coming into your eyes. I'm also going to clean up the edges here on the steel so there's no burr. It'll also make it a little bit easier when I'm threading the steel. Also, I did not quench it yet. I don't want it hard when I'm trying to make the threads. I'll quench it afterwards. After I've made the threads, then I'll heat it up again and quench it. Okay, and so now that I have the ends tapered out and all the burrs are removed so I don't cut myself as I'm doing this, I'm going to use my 5/16 die so that I can eventually thread some nuts on there so that I can secure it to the camper. So here I go. You want to make sure it's as straight as possible when you're doing this. All right. So that should do it. All right, there we have it, an inch of thread. And these are the nylon nuts that I will be using, and they work perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones, and I'll catch you back on the other side. Okay, so now that I have all the threads on and I've tested them all, I'm going to go ahead and heat these up again so I can quench the tips and also the top of the bracket a little bit on the bend here so that I can harden it so that it doesn't break. All right, so we have one side that's ready to go. Sorry, no big smoke or flames like in Forged in Fire because this is just the water. With mild steel like this, we just use water. And that's it. That's all I need. That should get them hard enough to not be brittle and have some flexibility in them as well. All right, so now that they're done, I painted them and just waiting for them to dry. And then I will install them with the sewer hose storage.